Good morning, everyone. I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful day and welcome you all to Spiritualist Desert Church. We are fortunate to be live on Zoom this morning in Las Vegas, Nevada. I know we're being joined by people all over the country, and I want to welcome everyone here today. Please be aware we will keep your microphones muted throughout the duration of the service as we are recording this service for YouTube. And so I would also like to welcome everyone viewing us on YouTube. If you're viewing us on YouTube and would like a Zoom invitation, please send us an email. And of course, I would like to welcome all of those from the spirit world who walk with us today and every day, because we would not be here at this church without you. Thank you so much for all being with us today. I'm Alice Robertson, serving as chairperson today. I'm vice president of the board of directors and a member of the pastoral committee for Spiritualist Desert Church. With me today will be the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo, giving our sermon, spirit greetings, benediction, Louise Barkdull leading us in a healing meditation, and Lynn Collier being our Zoom host today. Please join me in our opening prayer. Infinite intelligence, we welcome you into our lives today and every day. We open ourselves to your inspiration as we direct our thoughts to you during our time together. We ask that your spirit fill our souls with love, harmony, peace, and joy. And we ask that our service be blessed with the highest knowledge and understanding as we welcome you into our daily lives. Let us live by our principles, natural law, and the guidance of spirit always. Amen. Spiritualist Desert Church is a chartered member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches, headquartered in Lilydale, New York. The NSAC manual provides us with the definitions of our religion. I would like to share these definitions of spiritualism and being a spiritualist with you now. Spiritualism is the science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature, both on the seen and unseen sides of life, and bases its conclusions upon present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts of past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom when sustained by reason and by results of observed facts of the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as the basis of his or her religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teachings derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we have no dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by. Please join me in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And now, thank you so much for joining me in reciting our principles and living them. It's a wonderful thing. It is my greatest pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo from Maryland. Rosemary is an ordained minister, a certified medium, a commissioned healer, and a national spiritualist teacher through the NSAC. She is the director of the NSAC Department of Endowments. And now, please join me in welcoming Rosemary to Spiritualist Desert Church.
Good morning. Thank you, Alice. Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be here with all of you. And I hope in that introduction that Alice just read of me, I hope most of all you hear that I'm a friend. I'm just so delighted to be here with all of you in this wonderful church and to see friends from all over. So, so welcome. And aren't we so lucky to be together this morning, right? We're here on Zoom and we're each in our individual rooms, couches, chairs, and yet Spirit tells us we are still in one room together because we have, by our intention, created an energy that creates a different kind of room. So it's wonderful to be here in this one room of energy with all of you. Now, Alice had mentioned the Lyceum discussion, and some of you may feel like this is part 2, and that's just the way it goes with Spirit sometimes, right? And in the Lyceum, we had talked about the Harrison D. Barrett quote of that journey between I believe and spiritualists who say I know. And so along those veins of how do we live that, trying to stay in the I know of continuous life, of one world with spirit and human together in it. I would ask you also to think about the word hope. Now, hope is generally considered to be a very uplifting word, right? We hope people have a happy birthday. We hope things get better. We hope someone feels better. And yet, I would ask you to consider if a state of hope, if the word hope is actually conducive with a spiritualist belief. Because if I know, if I truly know that all is in divine order, hope is of the physical, not of the larger energy, the larger universe of a divine plan. Now that may seem a little outrageous. Hope, again, seems like a fairly positive word, but think about the power, the energy behind words. If I am hoping that something happens, It may be that by my very hoping, I am carrying a state of fear that something maybe is not possible. It just may be a little shift of the vibration mixed in with all of the good and the well wishes, and yet there may be fear in that. And this is not a judgment, but a call to think about our language and how our language reflects how we are living, or how deeply we are into the knowing, because knowing may have taken us into a shift, as we talked about this morning, where yes, spiritualism is real for me. I know it. I'm not just believing it. And there are many levels and layers to that, where our knowledge expands more and more, the more we get to walk a spiritualist life. So I ask you to think about if by its nature, the word hope instead allows for inaction, because I'm not truly sure. I know all is well, or I hope all is well. I know you will be fine, or I hope you will be fine. Vast difference. And for those who are not walking a spiritualist journey, I recognize could feel perhaps even very hurtful. To have this discussion of hope. Not being, so don't you wish me well? Yes, of course. And it's bigger than that. It's bigger. Yes, we all have challenges. Yes, lots of them I and many of you would never pick, right? There are things going on in the world we literally cannot wrap our minds around in their horror, their impact. Not just human, but what nature is doing, right? Storms, heartache. And if we know that life continues, that there is a purpose, that natural law guides us, then does it not follow that we know that even if we cannot see the answer in this physical life, that all is truly well? That natural law will balance things out, even if with our human eyes, we cannot see it in this moment. Everything has something to teach us. As humans, we know it's hard to understand that. It's hard to accept that. When someone is grieving, their grief is real. And in our journey, though, regardless of spiritualist or not, we miss the physical presence of someone, right? It is still a grief process, no matter if that person is coming through with a message. We must go through that as humans. And yet, I know that person will be okay, even if they can't see that in that moment. I will hold that energy for them of what, as a spiritualist, they know. That is part of the ebb and flow of energy among us. That if I am having a hard time, I look at all of you, my friends, and know you will reflect back to me what you know, and that will strengthen me. And then another day, I will do the same for you. Another way, we are all truly connected, all truly one, because we affect each other. And so hope. Oh, it's so beautiful a word, isn't it? And what we know, and yet, I have to ask myself every time I use that word, Have I taken a step back from knowing? Have I let fear step in a little more? What does it take in the physical world to live a truly peaceful, accepting life? It may be more than I can do 100%, 24/7, but I and all of you can try, right? All that is asked of us is the journey, our free will to walk, to question, to learn, and to grow. So if I say, I hope I am successful, then that little part of me is scared and doesn't believe it's possible. Words are powerful. Even the ones we like the best sometimes aren't transmitting the energy of what we think they are. How can we look at what we are saying and check out if that really resonates with what we are trying to live as spiritualists? There is a philosophy, and I know in these words, we could say we see that in spiritualism. This particular writing that I want to reference, I think says it more clearly for this topic today about hope, which is that true happiness can only be achieved by accepting that everything that happens, every moment that happens is the best thing that could be happening. On some level, given what's going on in the world and the challenges I know we've each had, that can feel a little outrageous, right? Everything? There's so much pain in the world. And yet, this moment, this physical life is just a piece of it. If we truly could, as humans, as spirit in this physical life, relax into that level of knowing with that confidence, how might our lives change? How might some of our decisions change? Not about winning or losing, about our soul's journey. So different than just hoping. So different than wondering. It takes practice. It takes practice, and it takes letting ourselves feel it. So this morning I said to the group, reflect on how your body feels, the energy of your body feels when you say, I believe about something versus I know about something. So I ask you now, when you check in with your energy, how does it feel when you say, I hope versus I know? I would offer the perspective that that same little wobble happens as opposed to I know. No wrong or right, truly. It's just part of that walk, that tension between physical and spiritual until we reach the point where we can hold both equally in the way that the universe calls us for that natural law of balance. Holding all, full potential, Physical life is the exercise. Look at what you are reflecting. I call you into that excitement of, let me try something different. Let me think about my words. Let me check out how my energy feels. Let me feel the joy in the deepest way possible of what it means to be a spiritualist, to live a spiritualist life. When you let yourself feel that energy, slow down just a little bit to feel the difference in the words. Each time you will be able to hold that larger energy of promise, of knowing, just a little longer. That's the journey. And the freedom is in knowing we are never complete. That's also what spiritualism promises us. Development is part of the continuous life. I hope you find that as joyful a promise as I do. And I hope you will experiment in this way with words, with your journey, and know and feel in those moments that above all, it's about love. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Reverend Rosemary, for your extraordinarily thought-provoking talk today. It gives us a lot to think about and hope for. Traditionally, now is the time for our love offering. If you will join me in our offertory prayer. We give thanks for our continued abundance, both physical and spiritual. We ask for a special blessings for the gifts given to us today, that our church and spiritualism may grow and thrive always. Amen. We continue to accept love donations by PayPal on our website or by check to the address on your screen. Thank you for your support of Spiritualist Desert Church. You can also find the address in our chat box. Now I move into the announcements. First of all, we've been informed by the NSAC Secretary, Reverend Joanne Santonosito, that our annual convention in Seattle, Washington has been canceled. We expect to hear more from our national board at some point in the future as to what this all means. Today was our monthly Lyceum. Thank you, Rosemary, for leading our Lyceum today. Lyceum is held on the second Sunday of each month, and our next Lyceum will be October 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We look forward to seeing you there. It's always an interesting discussion. Spiritualist Desert Church also holds a healing and mediumship practice on the first and third Thursdays of every month. Our next practice will be on Thursday, September 16th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Please arrive a few minutes early as we will close the room at 5 p.m. Next week, our speaker will be the Reverend Cozy Allen from Las Vegas and Petoskey, Michigan. We always enjoy when Cozy's able to visit us. As you are aware, Spiritualist Desert Church is closed for services now and into the foreseeable future due to the COVID virus. However, our board of directors and the pastoral committee are here for you. If you would like to talk with us or if you have any questions, you may reach us at any of the listed addresses. You may watch this service on our YouTube channel. Just search Spiritualist Desert Church on YouTube or on our Facebook page. It's also available on our website. I would like to also acknowledge the NSAC ordained ministers who are joining us today. Of course, the Reverend Doctor Rosemary Calderalo as our speaker and message bearer, the Reverend Cozy Allen, the Reverend Vicki Homan, the Reverend Jennifer Rawson, the Reverend Paula Molino, and Reverends Bradley and Betty Goslin. Thank you all for being here with us today. We now move into the healing portion of our service. As we begin the healing portion of our service, we invite you to join us in a healing meditation led by Louise Barkdull. Louise is secretary of our board of directors and co-chair of our pastoral committee. She is also a longtime member of Spiritualist Desert Church and a worker in everything we do and a wonderful friend to our church. By definition, a spiritualist healer is one who, either through one's own inherent powers or through mediumship, is able to impart vital curative force to pathologic conditions. Please join me now in praying the prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. Amen. And now, please join me in welcoming Louise Barkdull.
Thank you, Alice. I would like to thank everyone who is here today attending the live Zoom service, who will be watching us on YouTube, and all those in spirit that come in and spend time with us, loving us and supporting us. For the next few minutes, there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else that needs to be done. So seat yourself comfortably, feet on the floor if possible, and just focusing on our breath. That's how we'll begin. The simple act of breathing in, inhaling as fully as possible. And when you exhale, exhale as fully as possible. Focusing on our breath, getting into attunement with ourselves, preparing ourselves for the journey ahead. Just a quick little journey. As you're breathing, call upon your doctors and your chemists and your healers to come in close and to be with you on your journey. Allowing them to help you. With this breathing, consciously relax your muscle groups. Physically tense up for just a quick moment and then relax. Feeling each of the muscle groups relaxing. This allows us to slightly disengage from the weight of all the physical things that we deal with on a daily basis. This helps to allow our subconscious to rise, allowing our vibration to rise where we need to be, connecting with spirit, our doctors, our chemists, our healers, and that loving, healing energy that will renew us, recharge us, refresh us. As you feel yourself and your vibration rising, visualize your individual happy place. The beach, the forest, the desert, wherever it is that you go to that makes you feel the best. And as you come into this beautiful space, again, invite your doctors, your chemists, and your healers to come in and work with you. The wonderful thing about this healing is it works on us physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So whatever it is that you need help with right now, at this moment, just ask. And know that you will be healed. Accept that healing energy. Allow it into your body, into your consciousness, into your innermost self. Fulfilling you. Warming you. Healing you. It only takes a moment for it to happen. But often we enjoy those extra moments afterwards. Taking the pleasure of feeling that healing. All it does for us. It's almost time for us to begin our return. So again, taking the time to thank our doctors and our chemists and our healers that have come to work with us. Thanking infinite intelligence for this space. and this time to be healed. And again, focusing on our breath. Again, breathing in fully, exhaling fully. This allows us to come back into attunement with our physical self. Relaxed, restored, and healed. Be sure to bring yourself back fully, wiggling your toes, moving your fingers, opening your eyes, coming back refreshed, renewed, filled, recharged, and ready for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. God bless.
Thank you, Louise, for that beautiful and relaxing healing meditation. We continue to maintain our healing list and send absent healing to everyone on our list on a daily basis. You may add yourself or others with their permission to our healing list by sending a request to our email. Please only use first names for inclusion in that list. We now move into the message portion of our service. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to vibrations from the spirit world and through whose instrumentality, intelligence in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. A medium proves the continuity of life. Please understand that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic reads your energy or your aura, while a medium will bring through someone who has lived on the earth plane. It's also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and therefore cannot diagnose nor prescribe. Due to confidentiality and NSAC guidelines, our spirit readings are not available on our YouTube recording. And now, if you will join me in re-welcoming Reverend Rosemary.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, take a deep breath with me. And I invite you in the exhale to really let yourself feel the energy of love that surrounded us, all the spirit people that have been with us, all the love and support, all of your love and support reaching out to each other in this one room together. Infinite Spirit, as we close our sacred time together, we know that your love and support follows us everywhere. We ask that you bless us on our journeys. Help us always to remember these feelings in our moments of doubt. Guide us to that which we most need to learn. And above all, help us reside in the love of the infinite with you always. Amen.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. It's been a lovely day. Please remember all of those who keep us safe and healthy during this crisis. And take care, be kind to one another, and join us for, if you would like to, for a virtual fellowship. Thank you all.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Alice.